Hey guys, recently I bought Shadow Mordor Game of the Year Edition, and I beat the story mode in about... Fuck, I need to check real quick. Steam, I believe in you. You can load up. I beat the game in about 10 hours, which I assume is about the same time as most people did it. What I did was I did some side stuff. I know in the second area I purposely went out of my way to control or brand every single person or every single work that I could. Just because I could, I might as well. After I beat the game, aside from DLC missions, I don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point. Now, one of my close friends, Jack, he's from Canada, he told me that the game is mostly about sinking your time into collecting things for completion's sake, which I guess is fun. So I went ahead and I started going around collecting all the collectibles, doing the side missions. I went back to the first area and started branding a bunch of people there and collecting there and doing the side missions there. And it wasn't fun, but it was distracting enough to keep me occupied. And today I kind of want to talk about how a lot of games are kind of going in that direction where it's not exactly fun, but you're not bored and you have time to kill, so you might as well, right? A lot of Ubisoft games have this problem where you get this semi-big open world, you go to explore it, and all you find are a bunch of duplicated areas, you know, landscapes that, while sometimes look gorgeous, I'll give them that. Like, Shadow Mordor is a very fun game to climb around in, but once you've been to the same fort multiple times, it gets old. And when the only substance, aside from the story missions themselves, are side missions where enemies are thrown at you, or collectibles, which, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know much about Lord of the Rings, so I don't really know if the items that you collect in that game actually have significance in the books. I know there are like a few items that were obviously like, oh, hey, you know the books, this item, or the movies, this item, one of the characters had it, yeah. Here's a wizard staff. Ooh, I bet you know that reference. But for me personally, that didn't really have any value. And in a lot of other games, take Assassin's Creed for example, you go around Venice, or whatever city it takes place in, collecting hawk feathers. Because hey, you beat the game, you got nothing else to do. And this kind of practice where the game isn't meant to be done. You need to do a bunch of tedious little things to say that you are completely done with the game. And it gets to me, because when I start playing these games, I want to do everything. I spent money on this thing, and I want to use this thing to its fullest to occupy my time when I have free time. Which, during the summer, I have a lot of free time. I'm still in school. And the games, they don't really value the time that you spend on them, as the time spent on them is, oh, I'm running from this place to this other place to pick up a collectible, then I'm gonna spin the collectible around. No, there's a blue spot! You press a button and you hear some dialogue about its backstory. Of course, you can always skip that, because if you want to, save time and you don't really care, because you've collected about, like, 50 of the things already, then you're just gonna skip it. You don't really care. You didn't get involved in the story anymore. And so all you did was you went to an area, you pressed a button, went to a different screen, pressed a button, pressed another button to back out of that screen, marked another area to go to, went to that area, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, over and over, and it's just dreadful. I really enjoyed Shadow of Mordor. Its gameplay is pretty fun, the Nemesis system is fun to play around with. The story mode, while not exactly, how do I put this, original, like, it didn't really keep me on the hook. I knew that the main character was going to win in the end, it just felt like one of those stories, but it was fun to play through. I enjoyed it, especially the few boss fights that were in. Those were kind of fun, except for the last boss, which was a quick time event. That was really, really cool. I want to take a sip of water real quick, I hope you don't mind. Okay. So, but when you go outside of the story mode, there's nothing of substance. There are a few side quests, so you can unlock like legendary effects for your weapons that you don't really need at this point because you beat the game. Like, sure, you can romp around and kill a bunch of war chiefs for no reason, or brand more for some reason, even though, I mean, you killed Sauron, or at least that's what it seemed like in the last cutscene. You killed two of like his biggest people, and one entire, like, the entire army in Mordor is branded underneath your control. I don't really think there's any meaning for me to play this game anymore, narratively. Now, for gameplay and completionist sake, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep playing the game, but I'm not gonna be immersed. I'm not gonna be wrapped up in the game's story or its world because I'm playing the game to get that 100% on it. I'm not playing it because I need to see how the story ends, or I want to learn more about the world, or I just want to exist in the same world as some of these characters, which maybe is too much to ask of a game, but like look at Skyrim. That game, I don't want to say that it has the same issues as Shadow of Mordor, but it does have a lot of fetch quests, and after you beat enough quests, there is just nothing to do. And I spent well over 600 hours on console PS3 version, where my saves got corrupted and the game crashed all the time. And I loved that game. I played it all the time. I would just go to Whiterun and run around like an idiot and not actually do anything. I just enjoyed being in the world, listening to the music, seeing different things, learning new things about the game, reading the books. That's what I went to the game for. That sounds really boring, but I was immersed. I had fun. And compared to Shadow of Mordor, I don't think that they went in the right direction, especially with a Lord of the Rings game. Lord of the Rings being a hallmark in, like, I forgot the word, in the reading place. I'm good at English, but it's a Hallmark book, and it's a huge movie industry where the entire basis is, hey, look at this epic story that was told and this grand world that exists. Don't you want to go there? And here's Shadow of Mordor saying, oh yeah, we want to go there. Here's like 10 missions for the story and a bunch of collectibles. Have fun. I don't get it. I don't get why someone... I get why you'd like it, because the Nemesis system is really cool, but that doesn't really bring me into the world at all. Like, it's fun to play around with. That's all I can really say. It's not very... Okay, I was gonna say it's not very immersive. It's very immersive when you get killed by an orc, and then it becomes this rival and a bastard, and you want to kill him really badly for that revenge. And sometimes you can't because you suck at the game, which has never happened to me, I swear. I'm a master of this game. See, what I do is I get the intel, and then I do a stealth takedown, because it seems that every orc can just be stealth takedown, which kind of takes the fun out of the game, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, there's my Shadow of Mordor rant. Like and subscribe. All that other good shit. You might ask, like, oh, what's the point of this video? The point was just for me to ramble for a bit. I've just had this on my mind for a while now, and I needed to get it out. You know, I'm glad you're here to listen to me. You know, you mean a lot to me. You know, sometimes when I'm going to sleep, I think about you, and like I think, man, they should really smash that subscribe button.